wearing a sling for the next couple of months. I'm okay, Mom. She eased up on her tiptoes and carefully wrapped her arms around my neck, giving me one of her famous mom hugs. Damn, I was a grown man, and her hugs still got to me the same way they did when I was a kid.
I can't tell you how good it is to see you, sweetheart.
Good to see you, too.
I've been worried sick about you. Your father has, too.
I know. I gave her a quick squeeze, then said, I'm sorry I worried you.
I'm just glad you're home where we can take care of you.
She gave me a little pat as she stepped back and smiled.
Have to fatten you up a bit.
I was 6'4" and weighed about 240 pounds. Before I was shot, I worked out every day and knew what condition I was in. I glanced down at myself and told her, Not exactly skin and bones here, Mom.
Well, you look like you've lost some weight to me. And you're a little peaked.
Yeah, well, you'd look a little peaked too if you just spent the last 16 hours on an airplane. Before she could respond, I added, Let me grab my bag and then we can get out of here. As she followed me over to the baggage claim area, she explained,
Your father wanted to come tonight, but you know how he is around crowds. We both figured it would be easier if he just waited at the house for us.
My father was a brilliant man. There wasn't a mathematical problem he couldn't figure out, which made him one of the best accountants in town. But he'd always been a little different. He wasn't a fan of crowds or loud noises. He'd fixate on things from historical facts to the changes in weather, obsessing on every detail, and he wasn't exactly big on showing affection, except for when he was with my mother. He'd always been different with her, touching her, holding her hand, and even hugging her. I'd always hoped that some of that would rub off on me, but it never did. It's fine, Mom. I wasn't expecting him to be here.
Well, he's really looking forward to seeing you.
Even though I knew that wasn't true, I replied, I'm looking forward to seeing him too.
Oh, and Brooklyn should be home by the time we get there.
As I lifted my duffel bag off the conveyor belt, I asked, She been making it okay?
You know your sister. She's always on the go.
Mom shrugged.
But I guess that's a good thing. It keeps her out of trouble.
We headed outside to the parking garage, and once we got to Mom's car, she popped the trunk and I tossed my bag inside. I slammed it shut, and then we both got in the car and started home. We hadn't been driving long when I heard her let out a deep sigh. I glanced over at her, and even in the dark I could see the dark circles under her eyes. Have you been working double shifts again?
No, it's just been a long week.
Why's that?
Let's not talk about that right now.
She interrupted, then quickly changed the subject.
I've got your room all ready for you and got your rehab appointments all lined up. CJ and Dalton are planning on coming by and seeing you once you get settled.
That'd be cool. It had been years since I'd seen my best friends from high school. We'd all gone our separate ways, so I was surprised when she said,
Did you know that CJ and his girlfriend Adeline are expecting?
Hadn't heard that.
I don't think it was something they were planning, but you know how those things go.
Mom continued to ramble on about all the latest gossip in town until we pulled up in the driveway. As soon as she'd parked, I got out, grabbed my bag, and followed her up to the front door. She motioned for me to go inside as she said,
You get settled and I'll go start dinner. I'm making pork chops and mashed potatoes.
Okay, sounds good. When I walked into the living room, I found Dad sitting in his recliner with his TV tray in front of him. He was studying one of his patches through a magnifying glass, something I'd seen him do 1,000 times before. It was a hobby that started when he was a kid. In hopes of helping him make friends, his folks had signed him up for the Boy Scouts. While their plan for him to make friends didn't pan out, he did gain an interest in patches. That interest turned into an obsession that carried over into his adulthood. He didn't even look up when I walked over to him. Hey, Pop, how's it going? Good. I swallowed back the feeling of rejection that was creeping up inside of me and tried once again to get his attention. You, got some new patches? Mm-hmm. Without turning to look at me, he held up the long, narrow patch and said, It's an Unteroffizierwurzel cuff title. I got no idea what that is, Pop. Like he was reading straight from the encyclopedia, he spouted off, Unteroffizier.